Welcome everyone to my new YouTube video here on my channel. Today I have something special for you guys, and it is a Esper Bolas list. It basically is an Esper list that utilizes some red sources of mana to be able to cast bolas. Just want to show shortly what the red sources are. It's 4 beacons and it's 2 triumph. Mathematically you should play 7 red sources, but I played this now 10 games and I went 9-1 and it always worked out. So statistically 6 seems okay, but if you do the math it should be 7. Feel free to change that, but let's just go over the deck. So what we're gonna see here is 3 Idagas main just to hit the meta really hard. The top 4 decks all play green, and it's a really good card there. Choose target spell or permanent that's red or green. Its owner puts it on the top or bottom of the library. Another card that I think is really good against all the control decks like Bond, Rex, Sultai is Agonizing Remorse. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it or card from their graveyard, important. Exile that card, you lose 1 life. People asked me why I don't play Thought Erasure or Agonizing Remorse, and I told them on Twitch that Remorse first costs 1 black, 1 colorless, which is with this mana base way better. Second, right now, you do not want to fill opponent's graveyard especially, and you want to be able to exile the card forever. You want to have to be able to exile Uro and Planeswalker. Planeswalker because they can get it back with the Elspeth's Conqueror's Death, and Uro because it has Escape. I think Agonizing Remorse is the way better card right now. Sure, you take 1 damage if opponent plays an aggro deck, but I still think overall this is worth it. We go later to this card. So then we have the Planeswalker set here of 4 Narset. Port of Wales, 3 mana. Each opponent can draw more than 1 card each turn. I think this is a really strong passive card right now. Works great against Sultai. It's basically one of the best cards against Sultai. It works great against Reclamation. It works okay against Bunt. A Jaunt, okay. It's just an overall good card. You can -2, you can look at the top 4 cards, you take a non-creature card on your hand, and yeah, that's about Narset. So then we have Teferi. Yeah, well, I mean, there's so many things said about this card. It's just so strong in the meta right now again. We saw in the last PT there was like, I would say like 50% was Reclamation. And Teferi is something that keeps Reclamation kinda in check. It's still really hard, but it's a 3 mana Planeswalker that says each opponent can cast spell only at a time. They could cast a sorcery, so they cannot just go end of turn rec untap lands and play their stuff. Really good there. And +1, you can play your sorcery spell at instant speed, which is actually really nice in this deck, since it allows us to play cards like this on instant speed, and also Agonizing Remorse in the upkeep, which is really good. They draw, you just play it, you get that card that just draw. It's really strong. Also -3 return target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its own hand, draw a card, just a tempo, just to slow the game down, really good. Then we play 3 off of Kaya, and honestly, this is the card I think is the biggest flex spot right now. It's still okay against opponents' Narsets. It's okay against Mayhem Devil, which was actually the main reason why I kept it here. It's a 3 mana enchantment. When Oath of Kai enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. So you can also shoot it at opponent's face. When an opponent attacks a Planeswalker you control, they take 2 damage, and you get 2 life. Then we go to the only sweeper in this deck, and this is Extinction Event. I think the Extinction Event right now is just the best card you could play at this slot. You can choose auto even, exile creature with converted mana cost of those chosen values. So if you choose 0, which is even, you get rid of all the sharks, you get rid of all the Nissa lands, and if you go even, you get rid of the wolf, of the ambusher, and all the tokens. So Extinction Event really good here, and also really nice. I mean, you don't see that card that often anymore, but you can just say even and get rid of a Dream Troll. Happened today for me, and it was really good. Then we go here, Elspeth's Conqueror's Death, 5 mana. This is just an amazing card, especially with Planeswalker, and a lot of value. So you pay 2 white and 3. The first step is exile target permanent with converted mana cost 3 or more, and yeah, you just exile it. Second step, you tax the opponent, so they have to play 2 more colorless for each non-creature spell they cast. And then on the third turn, you can return target creature or planeswalker from your graveyard into the play with a ++1/+1/+1 counter or with 1 more loyalty. Just really good. Then we come to Ikoria Bolas, the Dragon God. I mean, if this card managed to stick on the field and they have no answer, it's gonna give you a lot of card advantages because you can +1 it, you draw a card, each opponent exiles a card from the hand, or permanent they control. You can -3, destroy target creature or planeswalker, really good. And the -8 is each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or planeswalker loses the game. I won 2 or 3 games with the -8, and I will show you why. We play a card called Elder Spell as a one-off. It is just an additional win condition that we can sometimes have. And it's 2 black, destroy any number of target planeswalker, so it's actually really good against Bunt. It's okay against blue-white. Yeah, it's okay against Sultai, but I usually run 2. Yeah, no, I can see it there. You choose a planeswalker you control, put 2 loyalty counters on it for each planeswalker you destroy. Let's say you give a Ikoria Bolas on 4, you destroy 2 planeswalker, you give him 4 loyalty, you -8, opponent has no legendary, you win on the spot. So that's why we play 1 Elder Spell, yeah, it's really good, I think, to have an alternative win con. Then we go to Dream Trawler. I have a one-off Dream Trawler. This is like a card that it's really hard to explain it. It's on paper, if you read this, it's a really good card, right? But in the meta where every deck plays Shock Typhoon, the card is kind of weaker for sure, but I think, and that's my personal opinion, it is a card that works exceptionally well against the Rakdos and the Chunt deck. And that is why I want 1 in my deck. Not more, only 1. It's a 6 mana creature that has basically perma proof as long as you have a card on your hand. You can draw an additional card on attack, and it gets +1, +0 for each extra card you draw. And yeah, flying lifelink, it's just a massive card. And then we go to the Shock Typhoon, 4 Shock Typhoon, 6 mana enchantment, you can cycle it, get the shock for X +2 you paid. This cannot get countered, it's really good to protect your own planeswalker. You even can hardcast it in this deck, since there's no creature we play, we only play Dream Trawler, really strong card. So this is the main deck here, and yeah, I think it's really strong. Let's just talk shortly over the sideboard. We're gonna play 1 Narset Reversal, because of the Sultai list, they run 4 Distortion. It's also decent against Temur Reclamation. You can Narset Reversal the Explosion, it's definitely a surprise. Negate, just a one-off counter. You could run Dovin's Veto, but I don't want to be too greedy with the mana base here. 2 Noxious Grasp, this card got way better again. You can use it against Sultai, Bunt, against the Nissas. You can also use it against Uro. Really versatile card. I like the 2 of Despock here. It's a card that targets Reclamation, ECD, Nissa, Tamio. There are many targets right now for this card, so for 2 mana, exile it, really good, especially the exile effect. 3 Mystical Disputes, just to have that extra counters in certain matchup. To mostly you use this to resolve your own spells, not to counter opponent spells, but there are some key cards you want to get rid of. 2 Cries, you want to use this against the Rakdos decks, against the Sacrifice decks. Kaya, really versatile card. Maybe you could see 2 Kayas over the Oshiok. I can see that. I can actually see that. This is probably the next step I would do. I will still show you the deck like I used to play and went 9-1 with it. So Kaya is 3 mana. You can plus it. You can exile 2 cards from a graveyard, and you get life for each creature. So you can remove the Uro, the Planeswalker, whatever you need. The -1 is really interesting because you can -1 and you can get rid of the Shark tokens, which is really good. But you cannot get rid of the Nissa lands, which is a little bit of a downside. You can also -5 and deal damage equal to the amount of exile card. I won a game with this today, and this was actually really interesting because with Extinction Event, with Elspeth's Conqueror's Death, and our Agonizing Remorse, there are a lot of ways to exile cards. And also we play 1 Oshiok in the sideboard, and I'm still convinced, I think 2 Kaya could be it. Yeah. So there's the Oshiok, 3 mana, spells and ability your opponent control can't cast the control to search the library. This is really good, but usually you play it for the -1 where you target a player, the player puts the top 4 cards in their graveyard and opponent exiles their graveyard. So usually you're going to use this to exile the opponent's graveyard, and it's actually a clock. I mean, in total you can technically remove 20 cards, and that's a lot, especially many decks like to draw cards. Then we play the 1-off Ritual Suit over the Shatter. There's also a decision I was not too sure about, but Ritual Suit usually kills everything except our own Dream Trawler, and there are not many cards with 4 mana that could not get hit here except Questing Beast, so I could see the Shadow here, but yeah, for now it's a suit, maybe I will change it later. And then a 1-off Hillet's Intervention, it's a 2 mana X, you can either destroy X artifacts or enchantment, that is good against like a lot of decks right now, or your target player against twice X life. Versatile cards, definitely something you're gonna board in against Chant. Yeah, so this is the deck, and as you see, I ranked up to number 31. I was 30 before. Yeah, so it's definitely a top 50 deck right now. I will give it a tier 2 level. Yeah, let's have fun with the games. That's interesting. So opponent is one of my viewers on Twitch. So let's go. Ooh, okay, I see on the Sultan train. Not a hand we're looking forward to right now. If this is the Sultan train, we definitely want to find a Narset here. Already ramping. Two Uros. I mean, there will be an Uro. That's for sure. I can definitely not change the fact that there will be an Uro. Extinction Event is decent though. I mean, right now, I don't have much to do. Nissa is definitely worst case if there would be a draw on the Nissa. Yeah, we need to find Planeswalkers. I mean, we run so many Planeswalkers, but do not find them yet. Yeah, Nissa would be the worst. Especially since we're on 3 mana and opponent power ramped. Like, really, really power ramped here. I wonder which version is it. It looks like the version I used to play. Wow. That's a third Uro in the top 14 cards. That's a lot of ramp. Imagine having a Narset, by the way. Well, that's interesting. I kind of hope we dodge the Nissa. We dodge a Nissa here. I think a Gust is better now than a Remorse. And we're gonna get the second Narset just in case. So we hope to dodge the Nissa for sure. Narset is that strong that maybe opponent needs to use a casualty here, just to get rid of Narset. Okay. Narset for Tamio, 4 mana open, I guess. Extinction Event, that's whatever. Okay. Okay, so we try just to use our Shark Typhoon here. In case there's a Nissa now, or yeah, we're gonna see. A second Narset, that's okay. Second Narset is okay. Fourth Distortion. Kind of forces us to do this here. 2, 3. Probably gonna lose an Extinction Event here for Uro. I mean, we have 2 Bolas, which is also really good. The Narset there kind of blocks our Bolas for now. So, that's not so fun. And now with the information that we have creature on board, the opponent could just play a second Narset and not plussing. But if that's the case, I will play a Bolas and shoot on the Narset. Mm-hmm. So that could be an Ura, but if the opponent plays an Ura, we'll use Extinction Event. Which I think would be the wrong call. And I can have up Gust. So interesting. I mean... What? What is going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have to. I think it's a Gust, but I don't see Dispute main. That's fine. We still have our Narset here. And we have a second Narset. Okay, so there could be a Nissa found, but even if they found a Nissa, Casualty. Okay, Casualty is more annoying. Casualty is definitely more annoying. Our Narset here is just blocking opponent really hard. And we can kill the other Narset again. We're definitely going for the Bolas and plus here, and then we try to have Gust up for the Casualties next turn. That's smart, because by doing so, we need to deal with it, right? But then they don't draw a card. It's really interesting. I think... How will they do it? Maybe use Extinction Event? Maybe. But then I will just Bolas. I mean, that makes sense. Okay, so we have the Gust here to deal with the Casualties. Or Nissa. Anything that can threat our Planeswalkers here. Okay. We're gonna lose our Gust. Nissa would be worst case now. Shock, okay. Casualty, sure. So either Bolas or Narset. It has to be the Bolas here, because we have a Narset. And we're just gonna replay Narset anyway. And try to get more card advantage. We're still blocking the Uro though, which is important. So we're gonna lose a Bolas here, pretty sure, yeah. Okay. Definitely have to go for another one. Get some cards here. I will go for the ECD here. Okay. And we still have a way to deal with Uro. Worst card probably is a Crazies here, but I cannot draw. Now, worst card is Nissa. Worst card has to be Nissa here. I mean, I'm definitely going to deal with the Uro if they play it. Narset is so strong against Sultai, it's amazing. Okay. So they get a 6-6. That's about it. Cycle this here for the extra draw. And gonna play a land. Gonna look what we find here. Ooh, a whiff. Okay, sure. Going in here. So the thing is, there could be a land, right? We're still gonna check. That's the hand. Okay. Well, that was the fourth Uro. Well, yeah. We whiffed here with Narset, which was really bad. But ECD here is really good to get something back. Yeah, we take a second ECD. So we definitely get back Bolas here. It's just way too good. And I think Berserker has to play Ura here to threaten an attack on Narset. Even though you don't draw the card, but it's also a problem because they're just gonna draw. They're just gonna get another Planeswalker back, which makes this definitely a bit harder here. But I don't know what there is on hand, right? So okay, let's get a draw. That's a good one. That's a good one. I could win the game next turn, but it's still risky. Okay. Makes sense. Let's get a draw from here. Okay, and another Bolas. Let's get a draw from here. It's what it is. It's what it is, mate. Okay, so I don't have anything here, and if it's our turn, we could win the game. Crazies, okay. So I think we won the game here. Yeah. Planeswalkers, let's go. Okay, we go Narset Reversal, and we're gonna add the second Trawler, Ashok. And I mean, we can run the Grasps. The thing is, what they're gonna play is they're gonna play Thought Distortion. So we need to hit the Thought Distortion with the Remorse, or with the Narset Reversal. It's basically the only way we win here. Actually, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, and oh, this is gonna be interesting post sideboard. I didn't have too much experience post sideboard here. And opponent plays Thought Distortion. Opponent plays Thought Erasure, so Dispute could be better than expected. Grasp is fine. Grasp is like. That's really interesting. I mean, we will never ramp as hard as opponent. I think I go down on a Shock Typhoon. Sure, they're gonna. The thing is, do you want to play Gust against my deck? I don't think so, right? The only card that you can Gust is Bolas. Game 1, sure, if you play Gust main, makes sense. But after that, it's tricky. So, I mean, this hand on the draw is playable if you get lengths, right? Because everything is in range. Now it's the worst draw. It's the most expensive card in the deck. We do not want to draw this early. Okay, now we need to find lands. You have a Narset. We definitely have to take the Narset here. And followed by Found an Ura. Okay, so that's interesting because now we can eat a Gust. Okay, found another one. So playing Narset here will not work. I think we have to remorse the Nissa here. Because it's really hard to play an Narset from this position. And Narset again is something where opponent needs to use the casualty early on. Yeah. We're gonna top every land and bottom everything that's not a... Oof, okay, now we cannot. We do not have white source, but we will in the land here because I think opponent needs to casualty the Narset away. And then we just gust us until we find lands, I guess. A Thought Distortion is also not fun. Let's just Trawler. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has to be casualties here. You cannot have Narset on board. And now I think you can actually also destroy one of those. I think we're gonna shock here. 4 cards graveyard. It's not so cool. This is something we grasp. Gust we're gonna use for Uro, I guess. Okay, so we are in Bolas range. One of Dream Trawler range. But now it's gonna be dangerous. There's still a lot of cards and a lot of lands left. Shock. This looks to me like a shock. So we're gonna draw. Okay, so we have access to all our cards here. It has to be a shock, I guess. 6/6 shocks, pretty huge. Pretty huge. Okay, yeah. It's even hard to just resolve a Dream Trawler. But maybe you have to just slam the Dream Trawler here, take damage, and just hope I can do something in return. I mean, the problem is Kratos. Here I will 100% use my Gust. Okay. Does opponent play Disputes? I think I have to slam it here. So next turn I can use Remorse and Bolas if I want to. Because the only card that can deal with Troll, like efficiently deal with Trawler, is Krasis, right? Yeah, not having the Narset lock is definitely different. Double top is also not fun. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna play an Uro. 1 mana, 2 mana. Okay, if this is green there, they're thinking of, that's a Nissa. The way, if you think about the mana like this much, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I could not stop this situation. But we have to Gust the Uro. Opponent doesn't even have to attack here. Okay, we have 2 Gusts, so it's fine, I guess. It's a hard one. We have triple interaction and the Trawler. If I need to, the thing is, I need to deal with the shock. Makes sense. So opponent cannot attack here. That is a mistake, I think. This gives me an extra draw now, which is nice. Okay. So first attack. Oof. Okay. Okay, lads. That's one of those moments. Top. So Asher, if he tops Ura, well, well, sir. No, that's a lot of Uras gone. We're gonna lose Ashok here, but that's whatever. Most likely we just guess whatever comes. I don't think they kept the crazies there on hand. They either top deck it now, or I don't know. Ashok definitely helped me. Okay, so what did they? 1 Uro, 2 Uro. And we got rid of 2 Uros, which is pretty good. I mean, yeah. We're gonna lose 2 cards. That's what it is. And the opponent is forced to attack Ashok. Yeah, nice. What should I do? It's minus 2 cards. That's also the point where we okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this and we're gonna bounce the shark. Keeping a shark in our hands. Getting the extra draw to protect Troller as well. I made a mistake here, I should have played that before, so that's an oops here from me. And then we end. We're gonna keep that land here. Misplayed there. So we had 1 more damage in here. And 1 more life. Crazy is obviously the worst card. Okay. We need to. We really need to find. Okay. Well. Let's hope we don't top deck an Narset or some shit. That hurts. That hurts. That hurts. So we just give this hexproof here. So we can keep the other one if we somehow need hexproof later on. Kept it top. Oof. Okay, we have to play the land here, obviously, to see what we can draw from the trawler. That's definitely not what we want. Plus here. What is the top there? Do we want to keep Teferi? This is a hard one. If they have Anissa, it's no fun. I think we just go in here. Ooh, that's a top deck. Okay, now I regret attacking with the 2-2. Okay, this was a really good draw. What we're gonna do is, after that draw, we're gonna remorse. Maybe opponent plays around this, don't know. I mean, that was a that card can keep my troll in check. Yeah, so this was really good. Okay, land. I mean, whatever we draw, we have to play it. I think North is just way too good here. So even if they top deck Nissa, it doesn't matter. Okay. It's kind of funny. Because we know what on hand, what there's on hand. Okay, that's it. We do not plot. We only have 3 lands left, right? So what can they draw? I mean, they could draw. Nah, they need to use this Uro, play Uro. Don't get draws, but get the life. Possible. But we get a bounce here. We get an extra draw there. Okay, that's a good one. No, that doesn't help. That's gonna... It's one of my viewers. I think I can definitely oops him here. Good game. That's a good game. Yeah, playing against the Sultai list we just played recently. It was pretty fun. So yeah, let's do another one. Let's see what Justus is doing. Okay, I mean, we got 2 Scrylands and we got a sneak peek on opponent's hand. Maybe that's okay. Yeah, Narset, sure. Turns 3. We take it. And we also can play it, so that's fine. We're probably gonna shock in the Fountain here. And then we use the Remorse. Okay, that could be many things. Okay. This is a really good hand. We have to take this away. This is one of the best hands I ever saw as a Reclamation player. Like, them having Grow Spiral would be like the top. If they top deck any counter here, that would be really sad. Okay, they didn't. Gonna get the Teferi here and try to resolve the Teferi as well. Sure, we have an ECD. Yeah, it's actually a tricky question. We could also went for another Remorse there. Not sure what's correct. But yeah, I know we try to play Teferi and Plus all the way. Why didn't opponent play a tap land there? The thing that confused me. Why is there a stop? There's a stop, but I don't know why. I mean, they could have a counter here, but I think I have to go for it. Okay. I don't play disputes, so even trying to get a disputes with Narset will not help, but I know I have to plus here. Yeah, we go for the Remorse. We fix our next turn. I think this is a good draw. I mean, the double extinction event is kind of awkward. That's something we have to use against Uro only. But yeah, the card we do not want to see is Blast Zone. That's literally the worst card. Blast Zone and hoping they do not play Borer. But we definitely go for an ECD on their wreck here. I mean, actually you could also... That's interesting. That's interesting, but I think it's still the best choice. They cannot counter this. They could technically play... Okay. Shock Typhoon was the card I was scared of here. But I keep plusing Teferi to keep the control of the board. Don't have anything here, which is a bit stupid. still do this. Maybe next turn I could bounce my ECD to get the tax up. And yeah, the remorse helps as well. Remorse will be a bit tricky. Okay. Let's check what we could draw here and see if it has potential. This has potential. And then we're gonna remorse their hand. They cannot copy it, obviously. And Ur is something we do not care here. So it has to be this one. So they have nothing here. So we just take this back. Okay. So this seems to be good. I mean, there's Cry here for sure. Still, the card we do not want to see is the Shark Typhoon. Against the rest, we are kind of equipped, especially with this hand here. Double bottom helps. Okay. This Narset is doing a lot of work. Okay, we're missing here, which is a bit sad. And okay. If we had the land here, we could play Bolas and that should be game. Okay, we dodged another one, that's really important. But with Extinction Event and Teferi Plus, we can deal with sharks now as well. Okay, we need to find something. They would have shot our Narset way back if they had something. Yeah, we don't find anything. We need just one land to get Bolas rolling. And this way at least we get something in the graveyard. This could be a problem if they have a shark here. This card will win me the game if I just find it. If I just can uptick it as much as I want to. Would that look scary? Doing nothing there. I mean, I need to have the Extinction Event up, huh? So I need to plus here. And then I can do nothing. Wow, this is annoying. We're just gonna discard the Oath of Kaya. Okay, let's cry again. Yeah, we need to find lands. I mean, we have the control. At one point, it's gonna be hard. If I have one more land, I can play the Narset at least. But I'm missing that opportunity as well. And I also don't have a own Shark Typhoon. Okay, now this is a bit annoying. I hope they didn't top deck it here, really. A land here would be really important. Okay, found a land. Well, we really need to dodge a certain card here. If we find anything that's a Shark Typhoon would be perfect. I mean, the gusts are good. Okay, we dodged another Shark Typhoon. So now, plussing the Teferi is really important. I'm not even sure if I can bottom Extinction Event. Oh, this is hard. What should we bottom here? Maybe an ECD? I think we bottom the Bolas. With the ECD, we have a potential get back here. Okay. So, I think I go for it. I mean, I know they have Gust, but I can only use it in their turn. And plus in here is definitely what I do. I mean, let's say they gusted. Is it better? No, I want to find a land, so it's just a plus. Found a land. They put the gust away. It's really interesting. Okay, find a Shark Typhoon. Shock this in. We need to find the... If we find the Elder Spare, we win, right? Definitely gonna keep my Gusts. My Shark Typhoon. I think I get rid of an Extinction Event. I still have one in my hand. And I control the board really well. We have way more of them, and I want to have a blocker. Okay, so let's draw. Okay. And then we plus, and then we pass. Plus. Sorry. And 1, 2, and we can tap this in. We have enough mana. We do not attack and turn. I mean, what is the card they want to find? I mean, I have a Gust on my hand. It's really hard. Top there. Okay. So they need to deal with Teferi, right? Maybe should have played that land though. Okay, the only logical reason is, do they have a Shark Typhoon? Okay, so what I'm gonna try here is I'm gonna try and find the Elder Spell. Did not hit it. Okay, we didn't find it, but I think at this point it's really hard. They maybe had like a removal plus a Shark Typhoon. Also, Reverse is a really interesting card in this matchup. Ashok is like... Ashok is interesting. Okay, Oath of Kaya is wrong. Usually we play the D-Spark because I assume they will bring in the Ambushers, where Noxious Scrap is also decent. So we just want to have the instant spells. I think Elder Spell can go out. Negate can go in. Hell Intervention is an overkill. Extinction Event is... these, I think ECD is better. One of Troll is fine. I will bring in the Ashok here. Maybe Grasp also, and remove Trawler, I guess. I mean, Trawler... They can... No, I think we have to remove Trawler. Trawler is a good card, but they have a lot of mana, and they usually bring... they usually have a lot of Shark Typhoons. So yeah, I think it has to be Trawler here. If we get control with Teferi and Narset like this, we should be able to win this if we can manage to keep it like that. Okay. Looks a bit like a Demia control list, but I think this is okay. So let's see what we get. Yeah, if they have an Ambusher, we only have Gust, so we take one creature removal here. And if possible, we bottom the rest. So this is Temple into Beacon. But then again, we need to be able, yeah. Now we need to be able to have the negate or gust up. So we have to drop this one. Because we need to find a way to counter the reclamation here. And okay, they check their mana, so I think they have a turn 4 card. And they are thinking of slamming the reclamation here, which we will 100% negate, followed by an Narset. And then we're gonna have Noxious Scrap or Gust open, which is the plan. Yeah. So this is our plan here. Ashok is fine, but definitely not now. Wow. Wow, okay. So now we're gonna play the temple. White is important though. Boy, it's really annoying that we don't have a single white land, but I cannot draw another land now. They could have Dispute plus... Yeah, they could have Dispute plus the Reclamation, but we still have to go for the negate and have Gust up. Okay. There's a world where we can shock this in, so we have Grasp plus negate up. I mean, we have to try it. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have negates. They would have played this last turn. Pretty sure they have Dispute because they would have played it last turn. So we have to go for this. Play a Dispute. I mean, if not, I would be... yeah. 3 cards left. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, they know I have a Gust. They're thinking a lot here. So we're gonna Gust this after the castle. I think it's okay to do this. I tap this manually so they think we have a counter. So I full stop here. There has to be a second reclamation because they didn't top it. So they don't care. So maybe they have another Dispute on hand. What would you play here though? I mean... Grove Spiral maybe? Get the extra blue to have 4 open for Ambusher. They know we don't have a Gust, we would have played it, right? So I think we just go in with a Narset here. Try to find a Tef. Tef or counter. Or Remorse. When they get closer to 6, I think it's also important that we care and maybe try playing Ashok here. And now they think they have maybe 1 counter left. If you think this long, usually you only have 1 counter left and you don't have Shock Typhoon. Because if you have Shock Typhoon, you will let this resolve and play a 3/3 Shock, right? Otherwise the thinking is a little bit too long. So I think it's best. I mean, Gust would be something, but we have a lot of cards left, right? Okay, they had the Ambusher. We kept that Grasp. So now we need to dodge. I mean, Explosion is still okay because they can do damage, sure, right? But they cannot deal with Narset right now, so they would not draw any cards, which makes Narset the perfect play there. They could have technically do 3 damage or Brazen Borrow. If they have the Scorching Dragonfire though, they only have 1 red, so they could not Explosion after. They could still bounce it though, which is fine. Okay, that's easy. We go for the Teferi here 100%, and yeah, 100% we go for the Teferi. Narset kept the lock. I think they maybe have an explosion on hand. So we have to be careful here. If they top though, I maybe think of playing Ashok. Oof, what is the top card there? Okay, we're gonna play this here. We know they topped, right? And we still have a Teferi, and we have a land, and they don't know that we have the land. So I think this is correct. Because they topped. So they want to keep that card safe there. Yep. So what's it gonna be? That must be a difficult decision here. Let's see what it was. To think, to kind of evaluate what they were thinking here. Okay. So they don't think I have a land here. That's really interesting. That was really interesting now. Yeah, that's an oops, my friend. We get this. We have another Narset. This was a huge mistake in my opinion. Tapping out there. I mean, of course I hold back my land if I do this play, right? And now they cannot counter. They need a way to... They probably need to use the explosion here. But knowing I will destroy their reclamation there. If they do that. Also, Usher keeps them for Uro. Even if they play Uro, Narset will stop the draw. Yeah, this is definitely a triple planeswalk combination that works really well against Reclamation. If they would have something like Storm's Wrath that deals 4 damage to everything, sure, but then they also need a second red, and it's something you could... okay, there we go. So I think this is 2 damage on Narset here, or maybe 2 damage on Teferi. If they do 2 damage on Narset, they cannot play anything else after the wreck. We have a second Narset on our hand. Oh, this is hard. What's gonna be... yeah, makes sense, I guess. Okay, so let's start this off. They didn't draw anything here. Okay, this was not that good. And they can counter this if they want to. I'm a bit scared of an ambusher here. I mean, I have to answer next turn. But not this turn. I mean, it's kind of important for this card, but it's not what we want, so... I think they have an ambusher. So I'm gonna next to be able to play Extinction Event plus Narset. I give this a 80% ambusher here. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's... okay. Scry here. Scry to bottom, huh? Keep doing this. Definitely doing work. Oh, freelance. Okay, for now, I still think we just let it go. We want to have a second Narset if they deal with our Narset. We whiff away many lands though. They're still on 6 lands. 1 ambusher, 2 ambusher. They still have a lot of reclamations left. And they have at least 2 or 3 expansions left. How many sharks? 1, 2 shark. So we hit 2 sharks. So we have to think about Shark Typhoon, Ambusher if they play 4. There are lots of things we still have to think about. We didn't find a single Uro though. I think they found Atlanta. Ooh, what a draw. Okay. Just keep doing this here. double Narset reversal is interesting. So they're thinking of me playing 4 Distortion, which I kind of understand. Yeah, we're gonna Shark Typhoon here. They maybe hit something. Okay, Ashok did a great job. Not all the cards you wanted though, but it's still something. There's still a lot of explosions around, and I think opponent tries to get the... Opponent needs to find a way to deal with Narset and then go Reclamation Explosion here. I think that's really important, and it seems like they do not find that yet. I mean, ECD is okay. Maybe I'm gonna really play our Narset soon. I could hardcast a Shark Typhoon, but they run counters. And 1 Dispute is gone. 1 Neutralize. It's not a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we go for 6 shock here. I mean, they have no brace in here. They could have a removal for Narset and we play another Narset. That's really good. Let's see. This gives us important information here. Everything that is a creature and can come in, we have to deal with. Remorse is great. That was a really great draw. If they play something, if they play an ambush, I will definitely go ECD. I mean, I will, if they go ambusher, try to get the count and play ECD. If they go for the shock here, I probably cannot attack. But they maybe have to counter this. Well, that's okay. They're just gonna remove the remorse, huh? They have to remove the remorse here. It's the 3rd Narset's reversal. I was not thinking about that one. I was definitely not thinking about that one. At this point, I mean, they have to take the remorse. I will play a 2nd Narset now. 100%. They know my hand. So even if they dispute, I have to make a decision. Okay, sure. So is the hand only counters? Maybe this was a mistake, yeah, because of the dispute. I think this was a mistake. I mean, sure, my Narset is still there. And I still pressure. Maybe I just slap in the ECD now. I mean, we knew there had to be a lot of counters, right? If they have a way to remove the Narset, they're gonna slap in the ECD. We have a 2-turn clock in the air, which helps. I mean, they could still have done this in my turn. That's interesting. I mean, there was a stop here. Is this a Dragonfire? I mean, why is there a stop? I think it has to be a Dragonfire here. I mean, why would you put a stop there? Explosion for 1? To draw the... Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Makes sense. We definitely go for the ECD here. 100%. And we also want to use the Ashok. I mean, they can negate here though. Shit. Okay, we're gonna use the Ashok here in case they have double Uro. Okay, Ambush was the top card. Would have won the game there. Well, now we need to hope we don't find the... Oh, interesting. I mean, I think you cannot... I mean, if you top deck Uro, it doesn't help you. Because we dealt with the graveyard here. What could you top deck? You need a Shark Typhoon. And then you have to block. And then you have to find a card. And then you have to find something else again. This is not easy. This is not easy. I mean, I think you need to find a flyer. So Shark Typhoon is basically the only option you have, right? 2 bottom. Okay, so top deck now. And okay, well, it was a good game. So we played against Sultan, now against Reclamation. We won both game. I think this is a really sleeper deck here. We managed to go to the top 100. I'm gonna play this deck also on my stream today, and I had a lot of fun playing those games. So if you want to see me playing this deck later on, check out my stream. If you want to see me playing anything, check out Discord, Twitter stream, whatever, Twitch. Yeah, and thanks for watching, and see you next time.